Welcome back to Inside Guelph. In for a treat, learning what is your dog doing when it's barking. Here's Duncan, our model dog. This is what you aspire to. And Tim Girouard from Barkbusters, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
He really is a gem, this guy. He's a little gem. He never barks, so he won't be a good demonstration. But yeah, you're going to answer the question about why do dogs bark, which seems sort of like a natural question.
It is a natural question, and barking is natural to a dog. But it's excessive barking that causes all the problems. We don't care if a dog barks, but we don't want a dog to bark at everything. You know,
Right.
Barks at the squirrels, barks at garbage men, barks at milkmen, mailmen.
No.
We don't want a dog to do that. A dog, when it barks, and I'm not talking about dogs that bark when it drops a toy in front of you and says, bark, play with me, you know, bark, bark.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not, because it's not in a dominant position. It's in a submissive position saying, let's play. But when a dog is in a dominant position chasing your neighbor up and down the fence barking, the dog is trying to chase away what it perceives as a threat in their mind. You see, and when a dogs bark a lot, what ends up happening is they become like a car alarm. It's gone off again. We don't pay attention to it. So when there is a problem, that's just the neighbor's dog barking again.
Oh, I could tell you I have one of those in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right.
And what we want to do is we want to teach the dog what are real threats to your pack, the house, not what it perceives as a threat.
Oh,
You know,
so
someone
you can
coming
tell
to
them. Yeah.
Someone coming to your house shouldn't be a threat to the dog. We want to teach the dogs, and we teach the dogs how to bark at the unusual, not the usual. You know, people walking by your house, why does it have to bark?
Yes.
Because it's concerned with what's out there. It's a potential threat.
So how do I teach the dog? That's a great example. A person walking by the house. I babysit my mom's dog who's from the country. So, I mean, anyone walking by the house is excitement.
Mm-hmm.
How do we teach that dog? No, that's normal. You don't need to bark at that.
You have to correct the dog when it's making a mistake. And you also have to act so the dog respects you. So when you correct the dog, it says, okay, I've done something wrong. So the dog will learn that I don't do that behavior. I don't bark at the window because I'm wrong.
Okay, show the viewing audience so what a correction is, because you're not saying you smack them with a
No,
paper
no,
or no. What's the correction?
The correction is, and a couple times ago when I was here, it's a growly correction. You correct the dog, bah! Just like a dog
Duncan
corrects.
knows he's not doing anything
exactly,
wrong. He's
Duncan.
good. Yeah.
But you correct the dog the way a dog corrects other dogs.
And they get that. That message is received that they should not be barking at that moment.
Well, think of it this way. What you've said to the dog is you're wrong. Because
Okay.
think of what dogs do. Dogs tell each other when they're right and when they're wrong.
Yes.
How do they do that?
Growl.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're very clear with each other.
You see, the thing that doesn't happen in the dog world is they don't make each other sit and stay. They don't make each other sit when they're trying to take some food away or take a bone or a treat.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, go sit down.
That's it.
It says, you're wrong. And the other dog walks away, and it says, got it.
Okay.
I don't want it that badly. You see, and dogs bark because of poor leadership by us as owners.
So if that's the usual situation where someone's walking by all the time, that's easy to correct. But the person crawling in your basement window, hopefully, is not usual.
Exactly.
And we're just assuming the dog will instinctively know, okay, this is my now time to bark because he's never been corrected in that moment.
Exactly, because we want the dogs to bark at unusual things. And to a dog, someone kicking your window in or kicking your front door in
Yeah, good to
is
go.
not usual.
Yes.
But somebody ringing the doorbell, that's usual. So
you
we
don't
want
need
the
to
dog to bark, and dogs will bark to warn the pack of something unusual, a threat. If it sees a threat coming from the side of the pack, it'll bark and the pack comes to alert. Okay, there's a threat coming. But we don't want it to bark just at anything.
Oh, I love this. It's
You
so
know?
easy. These are things that I love your way of correcting.
Well,
I love your way of correcting.
And with our system, with the Barkbuster system, we guarantee this training for life because it's the dog's way.
Right.
As long as you do it, dogs will get it.
And this is it.
That's the key. You know.
Oh, it's my shoe? Is it my shoe?
No.
Can we correct
Duncan, what
that?
are you doing?
Duncan,
No, it's
come
just
here.
something's tickling his nose. But that's the key, is you communicate like a dog.
Yeah.
You know, sit, stays, unfortunately, don't always work.
Now, this is a gem of a dog that you rescued.
Yep, from the Guelph Humane Society.
Yeah, have trained. Is there any sort of hint, we don't have much time, but any hint you could say of what is some insurmountable behavior that you might see when you're looking for a dog that you're saying, you know what, I won't be able, if once a dog bites, will they always bite, or can you correct any behavior?
You can correct any behavior. So we like to say that bad behavior may be natural, it doesn't have to be accepted. Using your teeth or biting, you know, one dog bites another dog. If it doesn't want it, it will say, don't bite me. Like, I'm tougher than you are. But we have to interact with the dog to teach the dog to respect us. That's the key to everything. How we interact tells a dog whether it should respect us or not. Just like it does with dogs. I have more than one dog, and they know who they respect, who they don't respect, like where they are in the pack structure.
And
that's the key to it. But you have to look at a dog's temperament when you look at a dog at the Humane Society or something, because just like us, we have personalities, they have temperaments.
Okay, and see if it's a good fit.
Yeah,
but
and
no behavior is insurmountable.
No, not at all. You can correct any behavior. When you I'll say this briefly, when you have a dog, you have 3 choices with their behavior. Correct it, manage it, or rehome the dog, we call it, which is Humane Society, that famous farm that dogs go to. Or you manage the behavior, which is locking it in a room when people come, or closing the blinds. You can correct any behavior, because dogs can correct any behavior.
Thank you so much. It's always
My
a treat.
pleasure.
I'm getting that much closer to getting a dog. My kids love when you're here because they know that I get braver and braver. It's always a pleasure to see you. Oh, I know you want to say something else, but we're done.
Okay.
Sorry.